Good morning, love muffins. I got a channeled message. Many of us have the three bears syndrome right now. We need it to be just right in order to feel comfortable enough to move forward. Some of us might be judging our situation as not being enough or even being too much, but either way, we are not going to be satisfied because our ego is always going to have something to complain about. Whether it's being uncomfortable in a more positive light or uncomfortable in a more negative light. We must push past these fears of the ego and understand that perfection is not a possibility, especially when it comes to growth and ascension. So I was going back over some channeled messages. A bunch came through in the last few weeks. It's been a really intense week for channeling messages. And this one really just stuck out to me because it felt like a very real thing for the collective. It felt like a lot of people can relate to this message of things just not quite being what we need in order to feel comfortable or safe moving forward. And the reason why it's important for me to share this is because a lot of us are being asked rather, to share more of ourselves, to step out of our comfort zone, to do something that scares us, to start a business, to leave a relationship, to branch out, to move, to start some new chapter or adventure. And some of us are resisting it so intensely because these little things that we think need to line up don't line up, and it's almost like a part of us is throwing a tantrum, like unless it's this way, I'm not going to do it. And Spirit's saying, look, nothing is going to be perfect right now because life is imperfect. What we need to do is push through the barrier of fear and go after something that means something to us. And that's not going to be easy, okay? It's not an easy road to face your fears, to step out of your comfort zone, to do something that scares you. That's not something that comes naturally to everyone, and it's not something that a lot of people are open to doing. But we need to challenge ourselves to step out of our comfort zone and be more available for this path that we signed up for. Because a lot of us are resisting the actual path that we came here to step into. Okay, so for example, the role that I'm stepping into of a leader, of a teacher, of a healer. Okay, that has not been an easy journey, trust me, and nothing was perfect, not far from it, and still is very far from perfect. But I continue to show up because I know it's ultimately why I signed up to come to Earth and do this whole song and dance, which a lot of us know is no picnic. Being an earthling, I don't usually call it that, but that's what I heard. Being an earthling is not an easy journey. Okay, being a spiritual being in a physical vessel like this, with all the emotions, the ability to feel the kind of, and especially if you're an empath like me, and you feel things really fucking intensely, it's not easy being human. Okay, that's the second time I've heard it's not easy being green. Also, I'm wearing green. But Kermit the Frog, I'm channeling Kermit the Frog apparently. Anyway, a little joke aside, it really is important that you push past this barrier of fear. So let's just take a breath together, okay, before I move on with the message. And let's just consciously release anything that's standing in the way of you stepping into your highest timeline, stepping into the role that you came here to step into, okay, and shedding anything that's in your way. All right, take a breath. And release anything that isn't serving you. Breathe and release. With intention. Anything that doesn't serve you, all right? Woo! So it is. Filling you instead with divine light and love energy. So that you can stand in your true full power, so that you can really embody the beauty and wisdom and charisma and strength that you came here to embody, okay? The people in my collective are not average people. You might have had a life, you might have been surrounded your entire life by people who thought you were average or even below average. You might have been surrounded by people that thought you were, Look, I'm a high school dropout, okay? I dropped out freshman year, in the first year of high school. And a lot of people just thought that I was going to waste my life, that I wasn't going to become anything, that I wasn't going to amount to anything. And I have proved them wrong, not because I care about what they think, but because I believe in myself. And I chose to do it anyway, okay? I've been an entrepreneur for like 20 years, a high school dropout who became an entrepreneur, and a successful one, mind you, in multiple different industries, okay? Don't be Don't let society tell you who you are or what you're capable of accomplishing. Okay, that shit pisses me off. Not you, them, telling us who we are, telling us what we're capable of. Especially if you're a minority, a woman, anybody who's, doesn't get the respect that they deserve, that doesn't feel like they are able to take up as much space as they deserve in a safe way. Okay, not all of us feel safe in this plane, this earth plane, to be all the things that we came here to be. But that's why we need to power through anyway. It's not ever going to be the perfect scenario. Okay, like the channel message said, the three bears syndrome, for those of you that aren't familiar, first of all, I don't know if that's a real term, but that's what came through me. I'm talking about Goldilocks and the three bears, okay? They walk in and they're like, this chair is just right, or this chair is not enough, and everything's like kind of just, there's a little bit of something wrong with everything they try at first. And they're looking for something that's just right. And I guess what I'm saying right now is that there isn't going to be that moment on the way to where you're trying to go, where everything lines up perfectly, okay? That comes after we commit. That comes after we pour our heart and soul into whatever we're doing. That comes when we dive all the way in. Then things start to become what we need them to be, not because they're perfect, but because we realize that we can work with it anyway. Okay, and a lot of us have been and I'm really feeling like the pandemic created an environment for us to wallow a little bit more than maybe we would have otherwise. Created an environment where we could get really comfortable, maybe being uncomfortable, but then staying in that, feeling more comfortable in that discomfort. Say, for instance, being a hermit. Okay, it's taken me a lot to push past my comfort zone to get back out in the world and try to make friends and try to put myself out there in a new way, to go live. I've been going live. I've been really pushing past that comfort zone. And it's true for me. The pandemic really, really changed me. The way that I interact with the world, the way that I interact with life. Some of it for the amazing positive, because I've transformed in that time. But some of it for the negative, meaning that it's a barrier now that I have to kind of break through. And that goes for a lot of us. We've gotten really comfortable. Okay, again, and don't get comfortable in the discomfort, because your ego will keep you there. If your ego had anything to say about it, it would never leave its comfort zone, even if what was comfortable was actually horrible. The ego will trick you, okay? The ego is not your friend, all right? Christians would call it the devil, all right? Because honestly, it is the devil on your shoulder. Your ego is going to try to talk you back into abusive relationships because it's too afraid to leave its comfort zone. And that's why I say that getting comfortable being uncomfortable is not necessarily a good thing. It can be when you're going warrior status and you just need to like power through stuff. We need to learn how to move through the discomfort anyway, to keep going even through the discomfort. But that doesn't mean to stay stuck, okay? So again, take a breath and release anything that isn't serving you. And also ask your guides to help you remove anything that's not serving you in a more physical way. People, things, situations that are holding you back, that are keeping you stuck. My hair is in my mouth. Anything that is in your way, anybody that's telling you you're not good enough, any imbalanced, disrespectful dynamics. And again, for the collective I'm speaking to, you probably have had a lot of people in your life disrespect you. You've probably been surrounded by people who didn't treat you well your entire life, and you might have even been close friends with some of these people, because you were so used to being treated like shit, okay? And this isn't for everyone, and this isn't a victim story. This isn't a sob story. This is just the truth for a lot of us. We've been bullied, we've been abused, we've been abandoned, we've been neglected, we've been surrounded by people that were narcissistic and are kind of obsessed with their own story and their own selves, and they didn't really have space for us. They couldn't see past their own self to see who we were. They never really bothered, okay? And with respect, don't treat these people poorly just because they treated you poorly. But do remove yourself from those people, okay? They don't deserve you in their life. All right? I'm going to continue with a little added tarot bonus on this for any of the people in my private club. Basically, just a way for members only to support me, for me to support them, for us to create kind of a little private area where we can communicate outside of this in a more private way. And I'm going to do some subscriber-only lives, member-only lives at some point when I have enough of those people on it. If that made any sense. So it's going to be more than just content like this. It's going to be subscriber only lives, which I'm really looking forward to, because I turned out I kind of like going live, but I really want to go live with people that I feel safe with. And when people invest in me, again, it's this reciprocal relationships. Okay, business is no exception. Okay, and this is my business. So I want to pour in, I want to give more to those people that give back. Okay, so that's what this is. I don't know why I call it a club. It's probably not the best way to describe it, but it is in essence a place, a way for people to support me and for me to support them further. All right, my goodness. So you can join on Patreon. It's a little cheaper over there because they take a lot less, and but it's not going to have the live perks. It's not going to have some of the perks that YouTube will have. So you can go through the link to YouTube. I'll have it all in the description box. You can go through the link to Patreon. One is cheaper, but one has more perks. So you choose. And if you just want to donate or work with me, my website is sacredmuseproject.com. Please don't get scammed. I love you. I'm here to support you. All right, let's go. Let's go. If you're ready to take the next steps, I offer 6-week to 3-month mentorship packages and all kinds of other stuff on my website. So go check it out if you feel drawn to my energy. 11:11 on the timer. Thank you, Spirit. And I'll see you next time, okay? Mwah. Love you.